morning. Good morning. I am alive. I am alive, and it is a wonderful time to be so. Oh god, the off-kai people just can't keep their fucking mouths shut, man. Oh man, I love it. You love to see people shoot themselves in the fucking foot. You love to see it. You saw that? Oh my god. It's like, thank you. Thank you for putting more things out publicly. It's, how do you manage to keep doing this? So, I saw Powder's tweet here. Powder freaking said, what they say, I want to foster an inclusive community. What they actually mean, I want to foster an inclusive community minus white people. And yeah, we already knew that was the case. Literally everything I've been reading from Bridge, they have just stated in plain text. Yes, diversity means less white people. Yes, inclusivity means exclusivity to certain people. We know this is what they meant. We know it, but it's always wonderful when they write it in plain text for the normies to catch up to speed. Yeah. Powder seems kind of based. Yeah. And then this guy here, Captain No Fun is G. He said, those white people did another mass shooting. Brother, I don't think you want to start quoting crime statistics claiming that white people are the most violent. I don't think that's a battle you want to get into. And she responded, we know what kind of people you won't be selecting for your off-kai commentary talents. 4 days ago, this guy tweeted out, I'm excited to announce that I will be working with Off-Kai Expo as their commentary lead and will be responsible for the selection and coordination for all commentary talent for our 2025 show. It's a privilege to be working this role, and I thank the team for trusting me. And she has this other screenshot of him saying, white people kill more people than any other group, especially white men. If you want the US to be safe, then ship out white men. I mean, if we're gonna start deporting people based on crime statistics, like, he said it, not me, you know? Like, another one that can't understand per capita. Someone bring out the large white woman's ass. Don't you love when the villain starts monologuing? I love when the villain starts monologuing, by the way. I can't speak. Per capita's too hard. No foxu lady at Off-Kai. Last year, I spoke to Lysander, who is, like, the Off-Kai coordinator guy, and was told, essentially, I make people feel unsafe. And they showed my posts. Let me bring it up because there's a lot of people who weren't here during the Off-Kai issue last year. They said I wasn't gonna be there in person. By the way, the director, yeah, the Lysander's the director. I wasn't gonna be there in person. I'm a VTuber. I was gonna be on a screen, right? I was gonna be on a screen, and it was an adult voice acting panel. I was gonna be doing like, you know, right? Like I wasn't even political. I wasn't gonna just like, you know, in the middle of moaning, just to start asking about the Jewish question, right? Like. Like, I'm not bringing politics to a VTuber convention because that would be a fucking weird thing to do. That would be fucking strange. Moans are political now, smedge! Exactly. So, when I inquired, like, hey, why am I not allowed to be a guest on panels? And what is it about me that makes people feel unsafe? And I was given these tweets. One is me replying to Sam Hyde, saying, Sam winning a women's weightlifting competition when? The second screenshot, which I had to provide context to Lysander, was me responding to someone who was legitimately asking what the long acronym for LGBTQ meant, and I responded, in the US we have LGBTQIP2SAA, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, pansexual, two-spirit, asexual, and ally, but in Canada they have 2SLGBTQI+, and the plus is people who identify as part of sexual and gender diverse communities. Hope this helps. And I put upside down smiley faces because that seems kind of silly that we have two different really long acronyms to describe the same thing. Which that is silly. And another one is me posting a video with Tim Pool and being against DEI. Just in case you're confused, being against racist policies makes you an unsafe person. Just in case you got lost. Got a notice that YouTube added pronouns to their creator profiles. I'm glad that as part Italian, my preferred pronoun of A is available in the initial drop. There's a notice that says stay tuned for the addition of new pronouns as well. I hope I pull an SSR in the gotcha. I am an incredibly dangerous individual, wanted in at least 13 countries. And then, to continue the pronoun theme, after its strange decision to get rid of everyone's discriminator, which is the like hashtag with your 4 numbers that were on Discord that we no longer have, Discord seems to be rolling out a pronoun feature for...
So, every so often I will eventually cover VTubers because I always found VTube drama to be kind of interesting, right? I do watch quite a bit of VTube, not that many. I only really watch like Kirsche and Peppa at the most, just for a number of reasons. I used to want a lot of the Hololive stuff back in 2020 because, again, during that whole period of time, a lot of people had a lot of free time. I had a lot of free time, so I decided why not watch some VTube to pass the time during that period of time. And so, and as time went on, I haven't really watched a lot, but I ever so often, or really more common, I do watch Kirsche, I do watch Peppa, and maybe other VTubers when I get the chance. Um, and when it's coming to Kirsche, I've always enjoyed her content, and I've always enjoyed the things she said. Especially, me and her do agree with a lot of the whole DUI, not DUI, DEI, and all that kind of stuff. I've known about that stuff at least as far back when Gamergate first blew up back in like the early 2010, entering the first time Trump got elected. That's how deep I was with the internet back then. Still am, and in a way, KSI reminds me of that period of time, that youthfulness, and I really do enjoy it. Currently, now she's in her own drama, and the clip I show was just a little snippet of it. You can watch her personal stream of her going into it. There's a little bit more, but it's kind of funny how when you deal with these kind of people. So Powder, I watched her at least once or twice. She's not bad. So let's read what this is. Right? Hopefully OBS doesn't mess me up. I'm gonna double. Yep. Here we go. So Captain No Fun is G. I'm excited to know that I will be working with OFK Expos as their commentary lead and will be responsible for the section and coordination for all ceremony talent for our 2025. It's a privilege to be working with this role, and thanks to the team for trusting me. And then obviously he's gonna say, obviously OBS is not gonna pick that up because I'm an idiot. But all you need to know is it has to do with race relations, obviously, because oh boy, let me do some post editing. Oh, look, we're doing some magic, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, white people kill more than any other group, especially white men. If you want the U.S. to be safe, then ship out white men. Wow, woo. Now, I'm not really getting into particular politics right now. It's really not my. I'm not saying that we don't on the channel every so often. I'm just gonna edit it in real time. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Right? But I've always found these kind of people to be extremely annoying and just aggravating as hell. Mostly because they're generally hypocrite, and I think this is why Kirsche, considering I was told I could not guess at the panel at OFCAF for pronoun jokes and being against racist policy, a lot of the time these people are probably as racist. I'm not really getting into my own past, but I've been around the block with different political people throughout for the last 14 years, right? And I've gone through and I've conversated. My thing about it is, as giving somebody like me who comes from a Hispanic background, I've always have said that to people. I prefer people are just honest, and if you're gonna be racist, just be racist to my face and we can make jokes out of it, versus being racist behind my back, or what I would consider not pandering, but belligerent me, right? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean with particular people within the lab. Now, again, I don't really get into politics so much in this channel, but in this situation, it kind of hits a core with me. We all knew what kind of people were on the staff there, but it's still funny to see. Conventions should be available to all VTubers, giving your money to your people. So Kirsche in her stream did mention that somebody still wanted to pay for her ticket and everything, but I believe she decided not to go, because why would you go to a convention, even if you are just gonna go see some of your friends or whatever? Why would you go to a convention that you're not welcome in? And first off, like, especially they're not gonna have you as a guest or anything, right? Why would you go? And it's funny that these individuals like to parade themselves as moral absolute. I'm just gonna say it as it is, right? At the same time, they're at worse than the other people. Like, if you're gonna be something, just be honest and straightforward, and don't be a hypocrite. And when you're called out on your hypocrisy, just be truthful. Just be self-aware, right? To me, it's kind of sad that this is happening to her. I've always enjoyed Kirsche's videos. I've always enjoyed her streams, and I've always enjoyed some of her takes, right? Um, But to see this happen to her, it's just kind of sad. And this isn't the only thing. She mentioned a few times that a bunch of people wanted her sponsorship from other stuff to be taken away because of this stuff. Again, I'm not really one to get into politics or pronouns and stuff like that. Obviously, like, because these same people, if you make a pronoun jokes, they get uppity, but then they make jokes similar in a different direction. It's just take a stand or shut your mouth, essentially. Somebody like me, I've always just been like, people are gonna make jokes. Just grow a backbone or grow a pair of balls. I've always have said that. When it's coming to stuff like this, like I understand why certain people go towards a certain political direction when you are just when you're just being hit like this constantly. I understand it 100%. I've always have held this position. It makes a lot more sense when you kind of think about it. And obviously, Kirsche is not going to go toward that direction. And I think she made that clear a few times. No, I think the clip I did have is going to be like, yeah, I know what I said. And I know this is a little different. Well, not different than my audience are used to, but this is something I've always wanted to talk about and cover. I've always enjoyed her stuff, as I said. I've always enjoyed VTuber. I also do, and honestly, I'm also gonna be biased, right? I'm not gonna lie, I have certain biases. I'm as human as anybody else. So yeah, I am gonna favor people who I do agree with. I'm just not gonna lie to you guys. But I also, like, every so often, even if I disagree with somebody and they make a good point, they make a good point. Sort of with the whole iDub thing. His point he made about Ethan Klein, a lot of them do kind of make sense, but because of the way iDub is as a person, those points mean nothing in the end of the day, right? Back to Kirsche, it is sad that she won't be able to go to OK Cop, but at the same off Cop, what however you pronounce, I'm just bad at pronouncing stuff. At the same time, she did mention that this happens a lot. There's a lot of drama with these kind of people who are just incompetent. And the staff are usually the worst, and management or administration are as bad, right? If the bureaucracy is that bad, they usually will eventually fail for any number of reasons. And a lot of the time, they try to backpedal, and it makes it look worse. But I'd like to see what you guys think. I know probably some people in my audience may disagree with what I just said. Some may agree. Um, I just wanted to try something a little different than I usually do. And I know some of the things I said may be controversial. It is what it is. Every YouTuber will have to eventually do or say something that is controversial, right? Till next time, be safe. God bless. He is risen.